On last week's Twitch stream, Square Enix had put out the preview of the November update for Final Fantasy XI, and in it were some suggestive phrases and terms that made me think some pretty big things were coming to Final Fantasy XI. If you didn't check out the video, big things are coming to Final Fantasy XI in November, do, because it's a fun look at like how we're going to interpret that. But the update is here. We're going to go through the update notes that went live and talk about what it means. Is it as big as we thought? Kinda. All right, so the November 10th version update is here, and with it came some big stuff. The things we were really excited about were the notes about new Apex mob locations for new camps, what that could mean. We were also curious about the introduction of new areas. There was a lot of talk about going out east in the new chapter of the Voracious Resurgence. Not sure if they'll reveal any more here, but with this screenshot, we might be able to glean a little bit. So let's get into it. There were a couple other things, but let's just start talking about it. All right, so event related. A new chapter has been added to the Voracious Resurgence. Players should speak with Raikou in Ryzen Jima after having completed the quest, the Sea Sage, to accept the latest quest. The quest inside the belly has undergone adjustments, blah, blah, blah. There's some other tweaks to various existing quests. So it sounds like the quest starts in Ryzen Jima. I haven't done the quest line yet. I hope to do that on stream within the next week or so. But the fact that it begins in Ryzen Jima makes me think that it continues in Ryzen Jima, and we just get to experience more of the Far East. Now, what this is leading into, there could be more in the future, but I'm not exactly expecting now, hearing that, to go anywhere new. Hopefully we do. That would be cool. But it was kind of a long shot anyway to introduce entirely new areas in a random update in November. Sounds like we might be spending some time in Ryzen Jima with the latest Voracious Resurgence. Excited to check that out. Interestingly, below, the ability to start the process for reforging item level 119 relic equipment to +3 has been unlocked. Players will be able to begin the process by defeating a certain number of squadron enemies in Dynamics Divergence, and the ability to start the process for reforging item level 119 artifacts to +3 has been unlocked. Again, Sweetwater or Transcendent enemies in Omen a certain number. Players will be able to begin processing the process by defeating a certain number of Sweetwater Transcendent enemies. That's interesting. I wonder if do I already have that unlocked based on my number of Sweetwater and Transcendent enemies defeated? Maybe not. Not sure. But that's crazy. That's crazy news. And then they introduced the anniversary event Mandragora Mania, which is cool. Have not checked that out yet. Maybe it's fun. Otherwise, nothing too crazy, but obviously the next Voracious Resurgence quest line, it does sound like we are spending time out in the Far East, heading to Ryzen Jima. What that looks like, we'll have to see when we do the quest, but I think it might be time spent in Ryzen Jima. Battle related, here's the other big one. The master levels that they said they were introducing. Master levels are a new job advancement system for those jobs for which a player has achieved job master status. Increasing one's master level will increase both basic attributes and the maximum level of one's support job. So before this, the only details we had were that basic attributes would be increased. There is a post-master job capacity point maxed out increase of stats, and I was kind of concerned that wasn't going to be very exciting. Who cares if we get, a little bit extra strength, vitality, intelligence, whatever, post 99. Yeah, I'm sure it'd be powerful and in great numbers, but overall not a very exciting increase. The fact that our master level can increase the maximum level of the support job opens up Final Fantasy XI in a way that I've never before expected. There are already private servers that have tweaked this formula and allow you to be 99 master and 99 sub job, and it introduces crazy broken levels of fun where you're essentially two jobs at once. But even as we have seen, going from level 37 to 49 with our sub job changed the dynamic of what was capable with those subs dramatically. All of a sudden, Red Mage sub has access to convert, refresh, haste. Things just were drastically different going from obviously the 75 cap to 99. Right now, it sounds like we can go to maybe level 50, 51 with this increase. Nothing huge at the time, but I don't think that's the limit. I think it's just the limit right now. Let's keep reading. Unlocking the Master Levels feature. Players must speak with the Nomad Moogle in Rulud Gardens H5 after meeting the following conditions in order to receive the Master Breaker key item. Be level 99 in your current job. Have achieved job master status in your current job. So only one of those jobs that I currently have, Summoner, I ever made it to Master. I think Pup and Blue are the closest second jobs there. But Summoner was the only one I ever got all the way, so I guess we'll have to see how that works. I wonder if I have the Master Breaker key item. Can I unlock the Master levels for jobs other than the one that I'm on Master? I've mastered? I doubt it. Like, I can't unlock this as Summoner and then work on Master levels as Blue Mage, can I? Maybe. We'll have to test that out, but I have a suspicion that I need to have a Master Breaker key item for each job. But, you know, it doesn't really specifically say that. Oh, well, there it is. I guess have achieved job master status in your current job. So even if I have the key item, I don't think it matters. You need to be a master to have the master levels. All right, gaining master levels. Players will earn exemplar points by defeating enemies while the following conditions are true. Be in possession of the Master Breaker key item. Be level 99 in your current job. Have achieved job master status in your current job. Defeat enemies whose strength as displayed with check is easy prey or higher. So essentially the same rules that we've always had for earning experience. I'm sure it's going to work similar to the Apex mobs, where, you know, fighting an easy prey is almost nothing. You'd have to AoE a bunch of them the way that, you know, Blues can cleave stuff in Ryzen, Gema, and other areas for a decent amount of capacity points. Or fight Apex mobs that have a much higher capacity point cap of, like, you know, 6, 10, 15, 30k capacity points. So it will be fun to see how that works. I'm sure it's kind of similar. I wonder how the grind speed is. Is it similar to capacity points? Is it worse? Is it better? Guess we'll have to find out. Increasing your master level. Your master level starts at 0. That seems a little harsh. Guys, come on. I feel like I worked pretty hard to get here, only to be told I'm level 0 again. At literally the pinnacle of Final Fantasy XI leveling, I am 0. Your master level increase when you accumulate a certain number of experience points, and you will receive the following benefits. For every mastery level you earn, you and your pet's basic attributes and combat magic skills cap will be increased. A lot of good, important things here. You and your pet. That's huge for Pup, Summoner, Dragoon, Beast. I wonder if it works for Beast as well, because Beast's pet aren't static. They change. I don't know. I would assume, but that's interesting. I wonder how that works for Beast. We'll have to have some sort of serious Beastmaster do some tests there. Combat magic skill caps. That's pretty big, because previously the only way to raise those outside of gear was, using merit points to increase the total cap, and you could only put, what, 8 skill total into it. So it's crazy that we can actually increase our combat magic skill now and just physically get better with our weapons and magic following this 99 increase. So that's awesome. For every 5 mastery levels you earn, your support job level cap will be increased by 1. So let's just do the math here. To go from 49 to 99 would be, what, 5 times 50, so 250 mastery levels? Doesn't even seem like that crazy when you think of the numbers of job points, but I'm sure they're incredibly difficult to earn. But that's crazy. So right now, I don't think we can even go that high. I think we can only earn up to 50 or 51. I heard 51 somewhere, but I'm not seeing that number anywhere here. Well, let's keep going. Let's see if it's below. Note, enemy strength as displayed by check only serves as a rough guide as to whether or not you will earn exemplar points for defeating a foe. Note that enemies who check as too weak, also, do you notice that it says took weak? Took weak may still yield experience and limit points. The monsters to which the above applies will be marked as very easy prey in the December 2021 version update. Interesting. So there's another update coming to kind of help us adjust. They'll become very easy prey. But that's interesting that they called this out specifically. So I guess not all enemies that provide experience points will provide exemplar points. Also, are we going to earn 3 types of experience now? Capacity points, experience, and exemplar points. Our chat logs are going to be like exploding. Style change abilities such as composure remain unusable even if your support job is level 50 or higher. So I get composure. Composure is a very uniquely red mage skill. This isn't the first time that we've seen sub jobs not have access to abilities that they normally would. Blue mage is a big one. I don't think you can use the chain or magic burst abilities even if you sub blue. Composure, I guess, is going to be off limits. I'll be curious about other abilities that remain off limits. I ran through the list of abilities that we'd get at level 50, and most of the jobs, nothing's like super game breaking yet, just some interesting additions. But composure would have been a big one. I mean, it wouldn't have been game changing. It would have just been like, that's nice. Anyways, exemplar points gains are unaffected by rings and other equipment earned from various campaigns that confer a bonus to experience point gains. Oh, okay. So there are currently no rings that help us improve that. Note that Corsair roll effects are properly applied. Interesting. So they're saying it. Corsair rolls do affect, making it the most useful job to have. Players will lose a certain amount of exemplar points if they are defeated. Now, this one is fascinating. Because if exemplar points are much, much harder to earn than experience points are now, because nobody's worried about de-leveling forever, because you can't lose capacity points and job points. So you die, even if you somehow died enough to de-level, you would gain experience back so fast, so rapidly, that it would never be a threat, whereas it used to be a considerable frustration to lose enough experience. If you lost, 40k experience from a Dynamics run, and kind of like we're getting back near 74, you'd have to spend, like a decent hour or two in a good party getting that back. What am I saying? 20k an hour is like really solid back at the 75 area. You have to work at that to get that back. So if these exemplar points are as difficult to earn as leveling used to be, which I doubt it will be, the fact that we can lose them upon defeat kind of makes death a little bit concerning now again at the mastery level, because it's kind of a pain. Mastery level can decrease when knocked out, blah, blah, blah. Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't read that one. Mastery level can decrease when knocked out if the amount of exemplar points lost would push them below the threshold of the previous level. I think that's huge. When I first heard that, I was like, great, whatever. But I didn't really even think about it, the fact that job points, you can't lose them. So this is kind of unique. It brings back the idea of leveling. It is kind of like a new game plus almost, except that you're earning strength in the form of your sub job, as well as obviously your stats and your combat and magic skill ups. A certain amount of lost exemplar points will be returned if a player is brought back from the brink by effects such as white magic spells, raise, and re-raise. All right, so follows the normal rules of leveling. Some stuffed ambuscade. Not super worried about it. Here it is. Monster spawns locations have been adjusted in the following areas: Promethean Hala, Promethean Dem, Promethean Maya, Promethean Vazel, and Alzadi. I didn't even see the undersea ruins. Alzadal? I've never actually pronounced that word out loud. So the huge news is those first 4. Hello, these are our new capacity point locations, and I guess for exemplar, the idea of leveling in the Promi zones is like the coolest thing that I think I've heard of in the past few years. This is amazing. I've been asking forever for them to introduce new capacity point zones for leveling in more interesting areas. I'm tired of the gates. I'm tired of these red and blue tunnels of death. I want outdoor fun areas, and that's not exactly what we've gotten here. I wanted to have more reason to explore the wide open Vana'diel, bring back difficulty to the main world of Vana'diel, and they haven't done that. But the Promis were some of the most unique and amazing zones in Final Fantasy XI, and they are, in a sense, very open. Your camera isn't stuck in with this tight zone. It's a very open space, even though that openness is filled with literally the empty. I'm very excited to see where those camps are, and whether or not it's fun to level and party in the Promi zones. It seems like it would be amazing. Hadn't noticed in all the discussions that we've had, kind of like as this news came out, the Alzadal undersea ruins. I wonder what that's going to be. Hadn't even thought about that. That could be an interesting little adjustment. Not as excited for that location, but definitely interesting that is another area that they're thinking of adding. I mean, they clearly have added Apex mobs. Alter egos have gone through the following adjustments. All right, so here's the adjustment to the shields. Apparently, they didn't think shields were strong enough at 99 for the trust, so they adjusted them now to be more stronger at item level 100 or above. Obviously, 119 being the big deal there. Very cool. Additional things, some storage stuff. System related, just to add to the master level, we can search by master level. I guess if you're looking for a party and you want to make sure that people are of different master level. What's interesting is new level sync functionality has been added. A master level sync feature has been added. Players will be able to set a master level sync in addition to the standard level sync if the following conditions are met. Be master, essentially. Working on it. Exemplar points may or may not be gained as the level sync feature is activated while players who have master levels unlocked or groups of players who do not have master levels unlocked. Refer to the following chart for details. So I wonder if literally master levels are similar to how leveling used to be, where if you were level 35 and you're with somebody who's level 25, like, you guys can't level together unless you level sync down to the 25 player and both fight something that is equivalent to that level. So if a party member has a master level 10, master level 5, and level 98, level 98 obviously not being a master, if they sync down to level 98, they can't earn exemplar points, so they have to be in the master level status to be earning exemplar points. That makes sense. To be honest, I can't think of a situation where we'd be fighting an Apex mob or anything that provides these exemplar points and you're not level 99 or above. But anyway, it seems like if you're syncing to master level 10 and you have a master level 10 and master level 5, you can obtain exemplar points. Oh, I see. I'm reading this chart all wrong. They're just saying if you sync down to level 98, you're not going to earn exemplar points. If you sync down to master level 10 or master level 5, you will. But I don't know why we'd ever need to do that unless the master level 10, or the master level 5, I should say, would not earn as many exemplar points partying with somebody who's master level 10 unless they synced. That must be how it works. We must need to sync to a similar master level to earn similar points, which is an interesting decision, because I could see down the line if we do get to the point where we've got, their sub jobs up to like 55 because of the mass level, and somebody else just starts the process. You've earned all these cool new abilities and you want to play with your friend, but now you've got to take them away. I guess they're just trying to keep the strength level sort of similar. That's fascinating. I hope they continue to add new camps, though. I mean, if this is going to be a new process where they're taking us from level 49 sub all the way up to level 99 sub, which will be truly insane, and there better be content that can match what that's going to mean for like our explosive level of skill. And we'll talk about that later. I do think I'm going to try and get the guys on stream to discuss these changes, because this is an opening change. This is an introduction, and there has to be more. And we'll talk about it more. I'll be curious to see what everybody else thinks. But if you don't have content that can match, they're just increasing our strength dramatically if this continues to go higher and higher with your level sub job. And if you don't have content out there that can match this new strength, then I don't know what the point is. So there must be plans in the future for something very difficult. The level syncing is very interesting. I wonder how this is going to play out. Some issues resolved and some known issues. Well, guys, let me know what you think. I haven't had a chance to actually look at this in-game yet at all. Very curious to see how it goes. And like I said, I think on stream, by the way, if you didn't already know, we do stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We play a lot of Final Fantasy XI, but also other games as well. But I do think we're going to try and have the guys out and have a discussion about this and see what they think. A lot of them have been fading away from Final Fantasy XI recently, so I'll be curious to see if this is enough to bring them back. or if it's not quite there yet. We'll have those talks. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this stuff exciting? Is it too much? Is it too little, too late? Is it step in the right direction, or is it continuing down the road of further and further from the 75 era that we all knew and love, and changing it into a game that we don't even recognize? I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts. I'm in between all those thoughts right now. I can't wait to have this conversation. Guys, keep on the lookout for more videos like this, and I can't wait to see you next one. Peace out. Bye. The blue killed Ballista, fight me? I mean, even if you're right, you might be right. I don't know if that's a problem. Can you imagine if, actually, I'd be curious. Do you think any Square Enix conversations behind the scenes ever started with the sentence, "This is going to severely imbalance Ballista"?